Number of viewers for WNBA games that Caitlin Clark is not in is like 3 to 4 million. When she's in the game, when it's her game playing, it's like 17 million.
Yeah. Well, I also look at the attendance in the arena.
Yes.
It's 8 to 10,000 everywhere else. Caitlin Clark, 17, 18,000.
Yep. Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is struggling to get through the semifinals and finals, and things don't seem good.
Has really consumed my life for a year, so I feel like it'll be good for me to kind of reflect back on everything that's happened. Like, I feel like I didn't even have time to really reflect on my college career because it ended so fast. I feel like taking some time to myself and really enjoying that and reflecting.
The WNBA is currently suffering greatly and is finally recognizing the Caitlin Clark effect, since games without Caitlin Clark draw much fewer viewers.
I think the game speaks for itself, but it's also in the numbers. Just look at the difference in All-Star votes compared to last year. A'ja Wilson led with just under 100,000 votes, and this year Caitlin Clark is leading with a little over 700,000. What a difference a year makes.
Fans are refusing to attend games because they aren't the same as witnessing Caitlin Clark. This is something that would have been avoided if the WNBA had been smarter and wouldn't have permitted referees to ambush her.
Departure, do we think that these new WNBA fans are going to stick around for the rest of the playoffs? The Liberty Aces series might be one that draws some numbers. The disparity between 1.8 million and around 400,000 is wild, especially with football season being in full swing.
Clark proceeded to play golf, and judging on the number of spectators, it's safe to assume that the WNBA would have grown significantly if Caitlin had been in the playoffs at the time.
The women that have been calling for the equality, and now that there is the chance for them to start getting paid more because the exposure's up. Because it's her, you have people like, what's her name, Jamelia Hill or what? I can't stand her.
Yeah.
You got these women who are coming on here and they're saying it's because she's...
Throughout her season, Caitlin encountered some difficulties from fans, the media, and analysts who tried their best to undermine her. However, she has consistently maintained her composure in press conferences and on the field in a challenging setting. Caitlin dominated the league, bawling out fans and experts in this way, using every possible excuse, trying to put this generational talent down under the sun. The group known for her explosive scoring and long-range three-point shooting, Caitlin Clark made an indelible impression on the WNBA. She had already enthralled the entire basketball world during her time as a student at the University of Iowa. Her performances in the WNBA weren't just remarkable, they were revolutionary, redefining the norms of collegiate basketball. Clark frequently produced breathtaking moments that stunned fans, coaches, and analysts.
But now that Caitlin Clark is out, and again, like I said, she brought a whole new fan base. And I'm not going to say it was one race or another or one type of person. I believe that all different types of people really started embracing Caitlin Clark. Female, male, black, white, young, old. Caitlin Clark is just a superstar. That's what happens when you have a star in a...
Fans who had followed Caitlin from Iowa were eager to see how her game would translate to the professional level, and they were not let down when she entered the League of Stars. Each time she took the court, she gave a performance that lived up to the enormous expectations that had surrounded her entry into the WNBA.
I'm going to put Caitlin Clark on the USA team. If we put Caitlin Clark on the roster, we're going to get tens or even hundreds of millions of fans to watch our game. And we sell out every game, even our exhibition game. Those things just don't matter. Women's basketball has never been about millions of people watching or selling out arenas. Come on now, give me some good reasons. Caitlin Clark just scored 30 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists in front of 20,000 people. And in that game, she tied the rookie record with 7 made three-pointers. I just don't see how those stats are important. I mean, she missed USA tryouts in April. Yeah, that's because she was playing for a college national championship. She couldn't do anything about that. That's not her fault. I'm just saying she could have been at USA tryouts if she actually took the...
Beyond the figures, it's one thing for a player to dominate on her own, but Caitlin Clark's ability to improve her teammates was what really made her stand out. Her court vision allowed her to create opportunities that many other players would not see, and her leadership on the floor helped lead the team to several crucial wins throughout the season. Even as a rookie, Caitlin was frequently the player her team looked to in clutch situations, and she almost always delivered. It became evident that Caitlin Clark wasn't just a fantastic young player. She was already one of the most influential players in the WNBA. The amount of attention she brought to her games from fans and the media was unparalleled, and the WNBA soon realized that Clark had the potential to become the league's face.
season, they were the most watched team in the league. An average of viewership, 1.1 million viewers each game in the regular season. Other games listed to this paled in comparison, drawing just about 394,000 viewers on average.
The Indiana Fever appeared to be a team on the rise for a large portion of the season. With Clark leading the team, their fan base, which had increased dramatically throughout the season, was full of optimism that the Fever would be able to establish themselves in the playoffs. The team had all the ingredients to make a deep playoff run.
Hey, I'd just like to say congratulations to Caitlin Clark, #1 player on the planet right now. Let's go ahead and do this game today. You got your hands full. You're probably nervous because it's senior day. It's the last one here, but this crowd's going to carry you through. So just keep focused. I know as soon as you drop that first three, it's going to be all over.
Though the Fever had a chance to win the series, format provided little space for error. Their aspirations were swiftly dashed when they were paired against the Connecticut Sun, a formidable opponent with more postseason experience, in the opening round of the playoffs. They lost, and Caitlin had to leave early due to the best-of-3 playoffs rule.
Caitlin has joined the WNBA. We've now earned enough money for every single team to fly private. So if we put her on the team, we're going to be able to fly private all the way to Paris and back. We have been fighting for private flights for so many years in women's basketball, but I mean, we can go back to commercial. That's something the league has been asking for so long. And now Caitlin has literally given that to us. All right, I made my decision. Okay, good. So you're going to put her on the team. The world's going to be so excited. Caitlin Clark has brought us millions of fans, hundreds of millions of dollars, and private flights. But at the end of the day, that's just not enough.
The absence of a home game was especially devastating for the Fever because, as was previously mentioned, the team had one of the most devoted and passionate fan bases in the WNBA, frequently packing arenas with close to 20,000 spectators. This kind of home court advantage can make all the difference in a playoff series, especially for a young team like the Fever. In the end, the series felt like a missed opportunity, not only for the Fever but also for the WNBA as a whole, as the league had lost one of its biggest stars far too early, and the rest of the playoffs would suffer as a result. The WNBA, which has been working to expand its fan base and boost viewership, missed a vital chance to showcase one of its brightest stars on the biggest stage.
The 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means is if the WNBA were continue to grow at the rate it grew from 22 to 23, it would take until 2028 to do what Caitlin Clark did this.
However, the NBA's shorter playoff series don't allow for the same kind of dramatic buildup. A best-of-3 series can end before it really starts, which is exactly what happened with the Fever. The NBA, for instance, uses a best-of-5 format in the first round of its playoffs, which gives teams more time to adjust to recover from early life losses and to build drama over the course of a series. The Fever might have had the opportunity to turn things around and return to Indiana to play in front of their home crowd and to continue the Caitlin Clark show for a few more games, but they were eliminated in just 2 games, taking a sizable chunk of the WNBA's playoff viewership with them. The WNBA is still working to secure a larger share of the sports landscape, so it's crucial to create as many marquee moments as possible in a longer series.
I talked to the GM in Connecticut, and I said, Darius, let's go back to Indy. Let's have one game in Indy. He said, there is no way I'm going to do anything to allow my team to get out of this arena. And I said, well, I'm on you. I said, because we will have 19,000 people ready for you. And he said, I don't want to go back to Indy. But our players deserved a chance to play.
Caitlin Clark's elimination from the playoffs had an immediate effect on the league's viewership numbers. During the regular season, the WNBA saw a noticeable increase in fan engagement, largely due to Clark's performances. She had become the main attraction for many casual viewers who may not have followed the league before, but once the Fever subsided, those viewers started to tune out. The numbers showed that even marquee matchups featuring other stars, such as AIA Wilson and Breanna Stewart, couldn't sustain the same level of fan interest they were watching for Caitlin Clark, and their interest waned without her.
Things that this group accomplished that, a lot of people probably didn't think was possible, one, to start the season into after the start we had to the season. So, yeah, it'll definitely be probably a little weird for me over the course of the first couple of weeks. And then I'm sure I'll get bored and pick up a basketball again. So
The WNBA has long struggled to compete with other major sports leagues in terms of television ratings and media attention, and Clark's ability to attract fans through her on-court performances and her growing media presence had been a game-changer for the league. However, with her out of the picture, the WNBA was once again confronted with the reality of its smaller niche audience. The decline in viewership following Clark's departure is a wake-up call for the WNBA.
Voice that I don't really listen to, honestly, because I'm in season. I have other things that we need to worry about than what other people have to say. I have a scout. I have 11 other minds on my team and in my locker room that we got to make sure that we're on the same mindset. So I really can't give you the best answer on that because I really don't pay any attention.
The WNBA had been making progress in recent years, gradually growing its fan base and attracting more media attention. But the abrupt loss of one of its biggest stars and the ensuing decline in fan interest has demonstrated just how fragile that momentum can be. This decline in viewership isn't just about losing one player, it's also about losing the momentum that Clark had built throughout the season.
I'd just like to say congratulations to Caitlin Clark, #1 player on the planet right now. Let's go ahead and do this game today. You got your hands full. You're probably nervous because it's senior day. It's the last one here, but this crowd's gonna carry you through. So just keep focused. I know as soon as you drop that first three, it's gonna be all over.
When Caitlin Clark was on the court, viewers tuned in to watch her play, and social media was ablaze with clips of her highlights. However, when she wasn't playing, the difference was stark. The media and the WNBA itself didn't fully realize the significance of the Caitlin Clark effect until she was eliminated from the playoffs.
I feel like after the break, I still don't think she's dominating, but she's a different player than she was in the first half of the season.
The media soon realized that Clark's absence had a discernible effect on league viewing and started investigating how crucial she had become to the WNBA's success. There were still many great players in the postseason, chief among being AA, so Caitlin Clark's elimination from the playoffs was definitely a setback for the WNBA. Although Wilson, a two-time MVP winner and one of the league's most dominant players, had guided the Las Vegas Aces to the playoffs once more and was hoping to add another championship to her already impressive resume, she was unable to duplicate the same level of fan engagement and viewership that Clark had brought to the league. This isn't meant as a slight to Wilson, who is still regarded as one of the best players in the world and is adored by WNBA fans, but rather as a reflection of how special Clark's appeal had become.
Caitlin Clark is box office. She is a star. But you've known they were coming for you when you were waving your hands in your face to mock Caitlin Clark when you were beating her for the national championship. And so you knew they were going to come for you. You had to know.
While Wilson is unquestionably a star, Clark had a way of captivating both die-hard basketball fans and casual viewers alike, bringing new energy and attention to the league in ways that few players ever have. Wilson has long been one of the NBA's marquee players, and her playoff performances were nothing short of spectacular. But even with her playing at an elite level, the excitement surrounding the playoffs didn't match what it had been when Clark was still in the running.
At that point, some of us felt like maybe she hadn't proved it in the WNBA, but at this point, she certainly.
Caitlin Clark's choice to take a lengthy hiatus from basketball after her team's early playoff departure after a demanding season during which she dealt with ongoing physical and emotional difficulties is among the most important parts of her story. Clark declared that she would be taking a more than 200-day break from the game. As an athlete, being thrust into the spotlight at such a young age can take its toll on any athlete, so for Clark, who has been carrying the weight of being one of the league's brightest stars, the need for rest is understandable. However, it also raises questions about what comes next for both Clark and the WNBA. For Clark, this break is an opportunity to recharge after what has undoubtedly been one of the most intense periods of her life. Her decision to step away from the game is a reflection of the demands that come with being a professional athlete, especially one who is under as much scrutiny and pressure as Clark.
Say, me and you, we were talking about this girl, Caitlin Clark. Oh, let me throw this out. By the way,
it wasn't that anybody didn't think she was going to be successful or not play. It was just that we felt the other players in the W deserve shine.
However, Clark's absence is a major setback for the WNBA. Because of her performances, the league had been gaining momentum, and if she is absent for a long time, there is a serious chance that momentum may be lost. For any sports league, The playoffs are the most crucial time of the year, and the WNBA would have a hard time retaining fans' interest and the enthusiasm Clark has created without one of its biggest players.
Fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad.
The future of the WNBA depends not only on individual stars, but also on the collective talent and excitement that the league can offer its fans. We all know that Caitlin will be missed, and we can't wait to see her play again. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. More videos are now available. Clark's departure has exposed the WNBA's reliance on individual stars to drive viewership, and the league will need to diversify its appeal if it hopes to sustain growth in the coming years.